Well, hello everybody out there in Atlanta. This is Chris from AncientLegacy.com with another impromptu episode of Topher's Log. So last week we had another house announcement, an IP, a shared IP for both coasts, for Hollywood and Orlando, and it is a white whale per se, a property that the team behind the event has been wanting to do for a while, and I know that fans have wanted this to come for a while. It's kind of one of the last lost vestiges of like 80s, horror greatness, the slasher era, the golden age of slasher eras, if you will. And that is, of course, Hellraiser. I can remember as far back as, 2003, 2002, when I first started going to the event. People wanted Hellraiser to come to the event. It's finally here. People have been asking for it for years. And like I said, supposedly the team behind the scenes have also wanted to really do Hellraiser for a long time. The problem with Hellraiser for quite a while was the rights issues. The rights issues for the Hellraiser franchise are kind of all over the place. And they've been that way for a long time, kind of like the Jason stuff recently. The Friday the 13th franchise stuff has been all over the place in terms of the rights. Victor Silva, the guy who wrote the screenplay, and Sean Cunningham and studios, like everything's been all over the place. But they were finally able to secure Hellraiser. The house will be based on the first 3 films of the Hellraiser franchise. Now, I've said this in the past, especially when it comes to Hellraiser coming to the event and, with people around me. I am not a Hellraiser fan. Hellraiser is a franchise that I saw when I was younger. I mentioned in the last video how I probably watched a lot of movies that I shouldn't have very young. Hellraiser was one of those movies that I saw very young. I remember as a child being scared to death of Pinhead. Just the images of Pinhead everywhere used to scare the crap out of me. Probably more so than things like Jason or Michael Myers or Leatherface. Just that stark, that image of Pinhead is very, very terrifying. I saw Hellraiser when I was very young, and I remember not getting it at all. I did not get the movie at all. But Hellraiser, Pinhead himself was a character that still kind of scared me. As I got older, of course, I watched Hellraiser multiple times afterwards. It is a franchise that I just don't really, it doesn't hook me. It's not my jam. The first film in the franchise is obviously, I think, the best film of the franchise. I've only seen like the first 2 or 3 Hellraiser movies. I think I've seen the third. I remember the second one quite vividly. I remember watching Hellraiser 2 very vividly. But it is not a franchise that I just, go back to all the time. It is not a franchise that I sort of gravitate towards. I have not seen any of the later. I know there's like 12 Hellraiser movies. We've got the remake or the reboot on Hulu, which I have not seen. Is there a TV show involved? I think there might be a TV show involved too. It is just not something that I've gone to over the course of my life. And leave it up to Horror Nights, because whenever Horror Nights has an IP property, I tend to, do my homework like everybody else does, whether or not I have or own the movies or not. And Hellraiser is a franchise that I would like to own, just for the sake of, let me flip you guys around and show you my movie wall. So I have a lot of movies. I am a movie collector, of course. I do love me some cinema, and leave it up to Horror Nights to make me buy something that I don't necessarily want. So I went looking for Hellraiser, and I know that the franchise recently was put out on 4K, and there's a thing. And yes, I did buy the Arrow Hellraiser 4K box set that's got the first 4 films in it. I believe it's the first 4 films. Yeah, it is. It's one. I know it's 1, 2, 3 are definitely in there. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch at least 2 and 3. 1 is the one that like I said, I've seen the most. I've gone back to it multiple times to try and get into that headspace. Like, what am I missing from here that people really enjoy about this movie? I know Clive Barker is people love Clive Barker. He's got a huge following and a fan base, and he's a very his writing is very symbolic, and there's a lot of symbolism and things of that nature involved, especially in that first Hellraiser movie. I know that that's a thing, but Barker stuff has never really, again, sort of hit with me. Even like Candyman, I was never a huge fan of the Candyman franchise. I like, if I was to sit down and you were to give me an option to watch either Hellraiser or Candyman, I would put Candyman on any day of the week. I think for me, that movie is way more watchable. I have not seen Candyman 2, Candyman 3, or the reboot that came out. I have not seen any of the other Candymans. But the first Candyman, I really, like I said, it's not one of my favorites, but I enjoy that first film. But like I said, if you were to, if I was being forced to watch Hellraiser or Candyman, I'd more than likely choose Candyman any day of the week. Now, that being said, I know that this is a property that people have been wanting to come to me about for a long time. This is just not something that I'm super excited to see. I like the fact that they got it finally, and we can see what they do with it, especially because it is supposedly those first 3 films. So we can see what they do there. Doug Bradley, the original actor to play Pinhead, is coming back to voice the character for the house on both coasts. So that is very, very cool. The fact that they were able to get him to do that, because he's kind of retired at this point, or retired from playing Pinhead, I should say. I think isn't that kind of why they did the reboot with the Lady Pinhead? I actually do want to kind of see that reboot, just to see what they did there. It is just not something that like I said, I do not gravitate towards this franchise. This is not a franchise that I hold dear in my heart, but it does have a lot of fans. Of course, just the image, like I said, as a child, the image of Pinhead used to scare me more so than the films itself. And of course, the Cenobites, they have become, they were iconic right away. And spoilers for that first film, if you have not seen that first film, Pinhead and the Cenobites are like in it for like 2 minutes. They're like not even in the movie that much, but they became so iconic that just the images of the Cenobites became so iconic from that first film that they especially with the sequels, Pinhead became front and center, and the Cenobites became front and center for those films, because they are the bread and butter. They are the meat that people buy tickets for when they look at Hellraiser. But yeah, so like I said, Hellraiser not exactly on the top of my hype list, but I'm thrilled that we were finally able to get the property. We can get it out of the way. We've done it, and say that we did it and kind of move on. I'm not saying that I'm not looking forward to the house. I just, the property itself is not one that I am a huge fan of. But I've got that new 4K, the Arrow 4K. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like with the transfer. I know Arrow Video is, their box sets and their treatment of horror is. I've got a couple of Arrow things, and they do really good. Obviously people, they talk about, if you're a collector, you've got the Criterion collections and stuff like that, which I just bought. Obviously, Prime, just did their Prime Day June thing. Way off topic here, but I bought a couple of box sets that were way on sale during that thing. But post the Prime Day sale, a lot of the Criterion stuff has been on sale, like half off for Criterion stuff. And I got Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the Criterion edition of Pee-wee's Big Adventure is now mine. So, I'm glad to have that. But anyway, off topic, way off topic. Some people might say Pee-wee, large Marge, of course. Very frightening as a child. But anyway, so I'm excited to delve into those 4Ks and see what they look like and the features, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so Hellraiser, what do you guys think? I know everyone's excited for Hellraiser. A lot of people are excited for Hellraiser. It's just not going, for me personally, it's not going to be high on my hype list. Probably, if I was a betting man, probably wind up somewhere in the middle. There's just other things that I'm looking forward to the most. It is what it is. But Hellraiser, are you guys excited? Especially because it is the first 3 films. I'm glad that they're doing the first 3 films, because that first movie doesn't really have a whole lot, in my opinion, to sort of work with for a whole house. And I know, what's the one with the maze? Is that 3? Is 3 the one with the maze? So I think I have seen 3. 3 is the one that's got the labyrinth thingy, right? I think. As I haven't, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've only seen the first 3. I have not gone beyond 3. And I know as the franchise went on, I think it was sort of the quintessential law of diminishing returns. And Doug Bradley, I'm pretty sure, wasn't there a controversy because they replaced him at one point in the later ones? I think even he kind of gave up a little bit, but I digress. I'm rambling. Hellraiser, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited? It is what it is. So we've got two more houses left to announce. A little bit of interesting developments on the acrylic carousel, which we were only supposed to get. Originally it was only supposed to be 5 spots on the carousel, but now we have basically the same amount of spots that Hollywood has. They've put out a new sign indicating that we're going to get more than probably we were supposed to get initially. So my guess is that we're either going to get whatever Hollywood is doing, even though we're not going to have those properties here, or they're cooking up some other figures to put on that, maybe some icons. I don't know. And of course, street construction continues down at the park. I should be able to get down there on Thursday. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see. It's just been especially this week is going to be a very busy week for me. So we'll see how that goes. But next month is officially Halloween Horror Nights. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.